Today at Woodturning, we're going to be making a MegaPlatter out of black walnut.
Tim's American Beauty was made by Robust Tools, America's premier lathe manufacturer. Quality hardened tool rests and live centers too. Robust. Built to turn wood. Enjoyed for a lifetime.
Easy Wood Tools, best in class carbide wood turning tools. Well, if you've been watching our channel, just a few days ago we posted a video on harvesting some black walnut, 2,000 pounds of it. Here's the first piece. It is a magnificent piece of crotch wood, and it has given me headaches already because yesterday I was looking at this going, okay, well, we'll just plop this on the lathe in the morning and go. Nope! It was so far out around it became a challenge. So what I had to do first was to put a very large faceplate on the back of it. Well, that was an issue because the idiot running the chainsaw didn't make a very smooth surface, so I had to take a proxing grinder and grind the wood away till I finally was able to get the faceplate and managed to get it flat. It wasn't perfect, but flat is what I was after, and I got close enough. So then I had to use some special screws, you know, they're very strong screws to go in there and hold into the wood because this is a lot of weight. Then I was able to just gently lift it and put it on the lathe because I am so strong it wasn't a problem. Once I was on the lathe, the thing was so heavy it just kept sinking down to one side. Well, that means you can't spin more than 15 RPMs per minute. So I thought, well, I got to take some of this off. The proxing carver won't do it. So, okay, I have an electric chainsaw because you can use an electric chainsaw inside and not too much of an issue. The electric chainsaw was as dull as a butter knife. It wouldn't cut at all. So considering the time constraints and everything else, this is one of those do not do this at home things. I got my gas chainsaw and brought it in to trim off some of the wood. And needless to say, it's obvious from the video you're watching that this is why you don't use a chainsaw indoors. Very soon it started to look like foggy San Francisco because of the exhausts. So it took a while to get the shop cleared out and everything else, but now if you look at this blank, it's pretty well balanced. It doesn't want to have too much of a heavy end, so that means we'll be able to get this going a certain speed to where we can actually start making some cuts. Okie dokie, so I've got my tailstock over there. I was going to bring it up, but the first thing I want to do is get this center flat. Then if I feel like I need this support, I'm going to bring it up, but for right now we're going to try to tack that. I will go with a face shield on this because this wood dried out in a shed, actually a warehouse, for almost 4 years. So it's dried all the way through, so there are cracks. I just want to make sure I don't get whacked. Brian's expendable. We have insurance on him. So I'm turning my lathe speed down to as low as I can go. Gonna turn it on. This is 24 inches, by the way. I have a 25-inch swing on this lathe, on the American Beauty. You can hear the weight of this thing. This is just something else. I'm getting a slight vibration, but that's really pretty good speed for this. I'm really happy with it. We'll just start making some cuts here. Just gently come in. The reason I'm starting here in the center is because I have a flat piece of wood. I don't have to go searching for where the wood starts. Now, with the slow speed, you're not going to cut very fast because there's fewer feet per second coming by here than on the outside. If I was on the wings right now, I'd be moving. But you just gently start working your way in. So I'm just basically holding my body really firm and letting the tool feed in. I've got the handle into my hip. And I'm just going with the speed that the lathe is telling me. If I go too fast, it pushes off like that. So anyway, this is probably going to take me a few minutes to get this part done. Once I do, then we're going to move further out onto the blank. Okay, I've been turning about 10 minutes. It really doesn't look like it, does it? But it's going so slow, it takes a long time to get to where you're going. But what I'm working on right now is I want to make a recess for this, and the maximum jaws I have is a 4-inch recess. I want the biggest hold I can get. So I've been trying to level this out so I can have a footing on the jaws here. And now I'm getting ready to complete this to where I have an angle inside of there. So I want to raise my tool rest just a little bit like so. And we're gonna go get our friend, let me make sure I didn't move anything. Ah, we're still missing, that's good. Our friend the skew. And while I'm doing this, I want to thank our sponsors because without them this show wouldn't be possible. Robust Lathes and Easy Wood Tools. And man, robust lathes are coming to the forefront today because this big thing is not walking across the floor. You have to have a big lathe that's really well constructed to turn something like this. We'll be using the Easy Wood tools a little bit later because their negative rakes are going to be awesome in this really, really dried black walnut. Let's get things going and work on that tenon, the recess. So I'm just going to come in here and just gently make that dovetail shape. Just push in and bring this across so I straighten it out. So I can slide the skew. Again, it's such a slow speed, I have to let the wood tell me how quickly to go here. So I've got the bottom flat and I'm going to come in, push in again to make that dovetail shape. Do it one more time. And you better make sure that this tenon or recess is exactly the way you want it, because later when we're reversing this, this is one big piece of wood and you don't want to have any accidents. Okay, I've been slowly working my way out. Oftentimes when you do a winged vessel or something, you start on the outside and come in. This thing is so massive that I need to work from the inside out because it's going to get really sketchy out here. And I want to just make sure that I've got my shape established and I'm going this direction. So I'm getting into good wood right now. And I'll show you here what the shape is looking like. We're going to do an OG on the bottom here. I'm going to hit the off button on the lathe. Now the neat thing about the Robust is it senses this is gigantic. So if it stopped right away, that whole faceplate would unscrew. So it just freewheels. So I'm going to use my own braking system here. There we go. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to establish this curve. So as I work out here, I'm going to do this just a little bit at a time. This is going to be really exciting. So we'll keep working on the platter. Oh boy, here we go. Oh, I also start the vehicle before I turn it on just to get a little motion going. So we are now getting our shape here, and interesting thing is, like I said, the guy who did the chainsaw work was not that good, so the top part here is a little crooked. So you can look, see we're pretty thin right here, right? So I don't want to go any deeper than that, but you can also see that we're pretty thick right here. So my brain is spinning right now, and I wanted to make a nice round edge. But no, this is going to look rough on the edges. We're going to leave everything like it is because this went down in a violent event. A tornado took it down. So I want this to reflect that memory. Maybe the person I'm giving it to, the woman who gave us wood, won't want to remember it, but this is what I'm going to give her. By the way, this is a thank you gift for her for letting us come get this wood, because this is expensive stuff. You can't find it anywhere. And you'd think one day I'd stop wearing shirts with pockets. Anyway, okay, I'm going to start working on the OG now, and the OG is a little S shape that goes up in there. And then we'll get this bottom shape the way we want it. We'll have to do some sanding and then turn it around. There's our last screw. on our MegaPlatter and the ginormous, oh crap, one more screw. I thought that was sticking a little much. This is my ginormous faceplate. Look at that. There's no screws on there. I did a good job, didn't I? So anyway, Brian and I were looking at this and we're thinking we're gonna go full natural on this. Look at all these great chainsaw marks from that wonderful chainsaw artist who cut this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dish this out, and then I'm gonna take my sanding disc. We did a test here so we can expose the wood so we can put a finish on it. But I think this rugged look is gonna be awesome. It's gonna be all jaggedy and everything. So what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna hollow that, and I'm gonna bring the tailstock up just for a little bit of security when I do this. So move this up, and I need a live center. Yeah, okay. Give me a second and I'll have this ready to go. So we're gonna start at a very slow speed. I made sure nothing is hitting here. I actually had to put a dog leg on my banjo that Robust makes because it gets the banjo out of the way of the edge of the wood. So let's get our speed built up here. That's about it. This thing's going to be out of round the entire trip here, so we're just going to have to deal with it. So I have 1.5 inch deep hole right there, so I've got to come out at least this far probably to start sweeping in. And it's going to take a little bit to get past the chatter. So I'm just going to clean up this surface as much as I can. But anyway, just give me a few minutes and I'll have a dish shape going here. Yeah, that's going good. So I'm trying to get deep enough here because it's a pretty thick bowl, or I guess it's a bowl. So what I'm doing is I'm leaving a core here in the center. That way I have some support from the tailstock in case something goes wrong. And you know me, I'll figure out a way of doing that somehow. But it's just a process of removing the wood just like you would on a bowl. And I'm just keep working my way back till I get the shape I like. I just got to make sure I get deep enough to get rid of the holes that the screws were in the faceplate. So I'm kind of doing a test here. I had a different idea go through my head a second ago. I'm using the EasyWood negative rake scraper here. It's going to expose the beauty of the wood by smoothing out that area, which I think is great. However, one thing I've noticed as I'm going, this, for being a piece of crotch wood, is not that spectacular. So instead of making it baby butt smooth, I'm thinking of making it like this on the inside. We've never done this before, where we leave large tool marks all the way through, and that way it's rough on the inside, rough on the outside. It might work, it might not, but we're going to give it a try. I put my first coat of hand-rubbed Danish oil on the backside, and you can see this is some incredible wood. But for a crotch, it still did not have that spectacular swirl that I was after. So let's reveal the other side here. This thing still weighs a lot. So this is rough. This is our ode to tornado. So hopefully this is going to work out. I mean, you could do the standard platter and stuff, but why not try something different? Get outside your comfort zone and do something that you've never seen before. That's what it's all about. Having fun, experimenting, and seeing what you come up with. And if it doesn't work, hey, I can put this back on the lathe and turn it and make it really smooth and really pretty. But I really am liking this right now. This oil is going to soak in really well. Got to get all the edges and everything like that too. But also don't recommend doing this on your lathe. But heck, my shop is so small, I don't have place big enough to put this thing. But you can see now it really is coming out. It really is looking interesting, isn't it? I mean, this is kind of spectacular. I'm really happy with this. So, a couple coats of oil, maybe even wax on top of that, and this thing will be finished. Our MegaPlatter, tornado platter, whatever you want to call it. Well, that is how you make a MegaPlatter. So until the next time on wood turning, keep turning.
Tim's American Beauty was made by Robust Tools, America's premier lathe manufacturer. Quality hardened tool rests and live centers too. Robust. Built to turn wood. Enjoyed for a lifetime.
Easy Wood Tools, best in class carbide wood turning tools.